Hey, who we got in here? How you doing? I had to get out of Travis's live chat because every time I'd say something, they'd put me on a timeout. I think this is the doing of a couple of the people that have actually made my decision of not showing up down at No Name Nationals. I'm trying not to make waves, but these people are making it difficult because they're trying to give me more garbage as the day progresses. They've been doing this all day long. There are a couple people that have actually told me. One told me that I should be given the George Costanza Award, okay? And they don't think that the car is running, okay? Another one told me that I don't need to make stuff up. In other words, calling me delusional. And that if I'm like that, then maybe I should seek counseling. First of all, I'm not delusional. Second of all, I don't make things up. Third of all, I don't like being put on a timeout when I'm just saying hi to people in another person's live stream, especially when it's Travis. And I know Turbo Tom, and I know all the other people. I'm not mentioning names because I'm trying to be a nice guy about it. But if they want to make problems for me when I go into somebody else's live stream, then I can do the same thing. I have all the power in the world to go live on my own live stream. I'm not going to put up with this. 1,800 miles is a long way to travel for somebody who has a very tight budget, okay? Even if I don't have a car, okay? It takes planning on being able to stay at a place like a hotel or something like that for the time that you're down there. Then you have to schedule transportation or whatever, or a train or whatever have you, in order to get down there and back up. And really, I don't have that kind of money. I was thinking about it, but in the long run, I'm looking at it this way. If those two people are going to sit there and talk to me like that, that shows that they have very little respect for me. Okay. And for them to not even acknowledge that they were being disrespectful to me, that just shows me their narcissistic attitude. Okay. And I don't want nothing to do with those two people. I have better things to waste my time on than playing mind games with somebody. If I say the 57 Chevy runs, it runs. Okay. When I got it, it ran. When I took it apart and put it back together, it ran even with a busted head gasket. Okay. Now I put it together again the third time, but this time I've took more precautionary measures. I've made things better than they were the last time I put the head gaskets in. This time the thing is timed. The distributor was set. The timing chain, the gears were set. Everything needed to be cleaned up. The blockhead had to be cleaned up because it had the impression of an old gasket, and there was like oil and grease and everything on it. So that's probably another reason why it didn't take. But the main reason was because I was straddling myself over a plastic stool, like standing on a stool, holding the head in my hands, arched over the fender, okay, trying to place it in there. And what happened was it buckled the corner end where the little metal stud or whatever the hell sticks up from the block, okay, and it wouldn't go on. So I tried to adjust it, but what happened was it bunched up the head gasket and caused it to leak. So that's why I had to take it apart again. And people are asking me, well, why did I actually try to prime the lifters inside? Because they weren't primed the first time. Okay. I had to replace two intake valves. I had to replace the intake valve for number 2 and number 3 cylinder. I had to replace two pistons, number 2 and number 3 piston. Okay. Because the apron of the piston separated from the top. It didn't scar the cylinder wall because the connecting rod was still in the middle. So it went up and down, up and down, up and down. But when it pushed the top of the piston up, which was severed from the bottom, what happened was is the valves came slamming down on it, causing an impression on the busted part of the piston, and in turn shattered it in 4 places. But the rings were holding it in place. That's what happened. There are pictures of it, there's film footage of it, all that stuff. Now, I'm not claiming to be a master mechanic or anything like that, but I definitely am mechanically inclined. Hey, what's up, Lars? Wait a minute, hold on. I can't see it because it keeps disappearing. Okay. I can't wait for the no-name match. I know. Last year was September. But every time I go into Travis's live, somebody in there keeps putting me on a timeout. And the only thing I'm saying is hi to everybody. That's it. Nothing else. I'm not saying anything about what happened today and yesterday and all that other stuff. I've got better things to do than sit there and cause more problems. But I don't like these people causing problems for me either. Okay? I'm a 54-year-old man. I'm not a 20-year-old. Okay? I've been around the block quite a bit. And stupid I'm not. Okay? Um, I may come off as laid back and easy, but, don't rub me the wrong way. That's all I'm saying. Especially when it comes down to these people. Like you putting me on a timeout in another person's live is not the way to do things. I'm not making waves. I'm not starting any trouble. But if I have to come and do my own live in order to prove a point and let everybody know what's going on, I'm going to let them know what's going on. Okay? Because in that um, community, these people should have known better than to talk down to me or disrespect me or belittle or degrade me. If they had a problem with me, they could have messaged me. My email is in my description. You got a problem? Talk to me. But be respectful. Don't be disrespectful because I'm going to give it to you right back. I'm too old to be walked all over. Okay? Plain and simple, folks. I have no problems with anybody. I'm not trying to make any problems even when I'm in somebody else's live. Okay? But I'm not going to be stepped on either. That's all there is to it. I'm not going down to No Name Nationals because there's 2 people that ruined it for me. Period. They know who they are. I know who they are. And that's as far as it's going to go. Okay? But if I continue to go on the lives and they keep doing this to me, well, then I'm going to speak on it because these people should know better. One is in a position where he should know better than to talk to people like that. Period. I would never talk to him like that. And the other person, I would never say anything like that to anybody in the community. Period. Because I know it's disrespectful and I know it's not right and I know it's not moral. And to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do because something is not ready yet. I tried to tell these people there's no brakes on the car. And my vision of this car, the final footage of this car is going to be the camera in back of the car. Okay? The car sitting in my driveway at the very end. There's bushes on both sides. Okay? And there's a nice little landscape piece of property on both sides, grass on both sides of the driveway. My vision is to have Rich's 1957 Chevy Bel Air 283 V8 on top of the film footage, okay? As I get into the car, start it up and drive off. Okay? Restored by Rich 220 Automotive Restoration. Period. I don't need to prove that the car runs. It ran when I first got it. The guy told me it didn't run. Well, I was driving it back and forth in my driveway after I put fluids in it and everything. My biggest problem was I didn't realize the car really sat since 1976. The pistons were deteriorated. They were probably dried out from not running. I didn't put any Marvel's Mystery Oil in it. I just started it up and drove it back and forth in my driveway. Then when I put the head gaskets on and did all the work to it, the timing chain, cleaned the fuel pump, straightened out the oil pan, intake manifold gaskets, rebuilt the carburetor, new cap, new rotor, new points, new spark plug wires, new spark plugs, all that crap. Okay. The car ran again, but it was experiencing uh, a problem receiving gas from the tank. So there was a clog in a line, and there still is a clog in a line. That's why I'm not making any video footage of it, because it's not going to run long enough for anybody to say, well, it's actually running. I have to clear the tank or the line. It's something from either the tank to the fuel pump. It could be the diaphragm in the fuel pump. Could be gone. It looks like the pump is the original the original pump for the car. It doesn't look like it's been replaced. None of the parts on this car have been replaced. Right down to the exhaust manifolds. They have the original stamp number in them, and they even have the bend tabs going over the bolts. Okay. The generator is the original. It's numbered. The carburetor has the original tag on it. It's numbered. The starter has the original tag on it. It's also numbered, and the radiator is original. Okay. The block is original. The heads are original. The intake manifold's original. You can't get more original than this car. The only thing is that when I got it, whoever had it sitting, they took all the cosmetic parts off of the car. Somebody broke the turn signal bar on the driver's side, or the turn signal light off the bar on the driver's side. They took the badge out. They took the V off the hood. They took the script off the hood. They took what the heck was it? The locks didn't have keys, so I had to get new locks for it. I had to put the new ignition in and everything else. These people didn't see that stuff. You know what I mean? The painting, the body work, the metal fabrication, the welding, all that stuff I had to do. Okay. And like I said, I'm not a master mechanic, but I do know what I'm doing. I've had more than one car that I've worked on. I had a 50 Dodge. I had a 52 Plymouth Cranbrook Club Coupe. I had a 64 Volkswagen Bug. I had a 69 Impala Custom. I had a 67 Dodge Charger. And all those cars I've had during the time that I've been in this house since 2004. Okay. And now I have a 69 Olds. I had one before that too. Okay. And the 57 Chevy. Well, the Chevy, I'm trying to make sure that everything is going to be top notch with it. I don't want any problems. I don't want to take it out on the road and drive it for 2 minutes and have it break down and then me get a hernia or, have a stroke trying to push the car back in the driveway. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not a young guy. Look, I got gray hair. Okay. So I'm being very realistic here. When I'm done with the car, there will be a final video. There will be. Okay. When I'm done with the brakes and I'm done figuring out what the heck is going on with the fuel system and I'm finished with the seats and all that other jazz, I might put in a glimpse or two of what I did as far as, resurfacing the seats, because I used to work as a reupholsterer for a couple of companies, a place called Vision Systems in Elizabeth on Rawway Ave. Okay. The guy got locked up for two illegal possessions of things. Okay. But before he did get locked up, we did a place called La Casa Maria Restaurant in King of Prussia. Okay. I was one of the people that went there and did the job with him. I was there until 6 o'clock in the morning when we left. Okay. Another place I worked for was just some guy who did boat covers out of Texas canvas. and snaps. But we also did bus canopies for the double-decker New York tour buses, the red ones. That material, the canopy on top of the bus, was made out of Texas canvas. It's waterproof. Okay? So, he had his sewing machines and everything else and all that other jazz, so that's where I learned how to do it. The Vision System place was in Elizabeth, and we did the La Casa Maria restaurant. We did the bars, the bar elbow pad or whatever you want to call it, that people put their elbows on all the time. We did the stools, we did the booths, we did the tables, we did all that stuff in one night. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. What I'm saying to everybody here who's watching me right now, I'm not going to say who gave me the hard time, okay? But I don't want to be put on a timeout if I'm in there saying hi to some people. I'm not doing anything to cause problems, okay? Plain and simple. That's all there is to it. These people said what they said to me, and I said what I said to them. Plain and simple. There's no need to carry on about it. I'm not going to sit there and, carry a torch because they did something, and drag it out. I'm just, like I said, I'm not going to be able to go down there because of the mileage, first of all. Second of all, it's a money situation. Third of all, it's a matter of, you have to have some kind of place to stay. You can't just up and go, you know what I mean? Things have got to be planned beforehand. And you can call me a square or whatever you want, but I'm not a drinker. I don't do anything as far as illegal substances go. And I'm not really the kind of guy that does the hooting and hollering kind of party. I'm a little bit too old for that, you know? So that's what it comes down to. That's all. Yeah, I'm in bed because I don't feel good. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. And, you know, just been through a lot today. That's all. Oh, there is some coffee in that. Jesus. Um, but my main thing is I gave up on these other two people because, first of all, like I said, I'm 54 years old. And I had a heart attack from quitting these cold turkey 2 days beforehand. I wound up in the hospital. Okay. I have a stent in my arteries. The doctor said I was diabetic. I'm not. I'm actually hypoglycemic. Okay. I'm the opposite of that. So whatever the case may be, I won't wind up in the hospital because, my sugar spikes to over 500 or whatever you want to call it. The only reason why I would ever go in the hospital would be because of cholesterol, first of all, which I really have stayed away from red meat. I've been eating chicken left and right 9 ways to Sunday and a lot of vegetables and stuff. But you know what? When you get older and you start having problems and everything, it's not as easy for your body to take care of itself as it used to when you were younger. You know what I mean? So I don't need the high blood pressure. I don't need the aggravation. And I'm done talking with those two people. That's all there is to it. If they can't treat me like they would want to be treated, then I can't talk to them. I can't be around that. And that's the negativity that people don't need. I just figured I'd go live, just to let you know that because I was in that guy Travis's live. And every time I'd say hi once or twice to a couple people, they were putting me on a timeout. Don't know why. Don't care why, but I don't want to be played by people that way. You know, you got a problem with me, you talk to me. anyway. The heck time is it anyway? No idea what the heck time it is. Ah. All right, so now that you guys know my problem, what's everybody else doing? What are you guys up to? You guys can talk to me. I'm not going to bite somebody's head off. See if I can actually get any of these. No, I can't get any of the chats back up, can I? Messages are visible. Here they go. All right, here we go. Well, what's going on here? Nothing's going on here. Everything's cool, copacetic. I'm just trying to explain how I feel about people putting me on timeouts in other person's live chat. Go to bed, head 11 hours. Yep. Spring break. Spring break. The university got to get up. 3 a.m. for work. Yeah, that's what happens when you party too much. I'm a little way past that. All right, well, that's good. At least now I know how to bring the messages back up. Wait a minute. That's not doing it now. All right, let's see. Top chat. Well, oh, there we go. Smack those thumbs up. Tim, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, but it's just like I said, for the most part, it's the haul. It's the haul of going down there. It's the you know, I guess you could say kind of like the fear of not knowing where you're going, and how you're going to get there and how you're going to get back, and I mean, everybody I know from chats, from live streams. Barrows, Buck does it, all them guys. But, you know, if anybody's got a game plan, maybe I could swing something, but, you know, you'd have to be close to where I live in order for me to show up down there, and be able to come back too. So, but I don't think anybody's from up this neck of the woods. I think everybody that's going to Sykeston is more south, you know. Actually, there's one person that's in New York, but I don't remember who it was. But they're above me. I'm near, like, what is it? Not far from Del Water Gap. But I'm still quite a ways from Buck. I'm like, from here, it's about 4 or 5 hours to anywhere close to where Buck lives. I'm sorry I had to do this, but it was like, that's why I did the live, because, I got tired of being put on timeout or whatever. And, this was the way I figured to let everybody who was interested know what was going on. Hey, Mohawk, how you doing? I tried to say hi to you in Travis's live, but They kept putting me on a timeout. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was Travis or if it was one of his bouncers or whatever. That's because I've had a problem with a couple of people earlier today, which I'm not saying their names and I'm not saying what they did, but ultimately that's made. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Ultimately, that's what made my decision not to go down to Sykeston because there's people that are sitting there telling me that, well, you didn't get your car running. I don't think you did, and you need to get the George Costanza Award. And what was it? You don't need to make stuff up and just be you. And if you are this, then you need counseling. Why are you talking to me like that? Really? Like, I take offense to somebody who's like down talking to me. I'm a man, not a boy. Hey, old man in the shop, what's going on? I just got tired of being putting in. I just got tired of being put in timeout. That's mainly the reason why. I had to do the live like ASAP. While people are on because I know you guys got jobs. I have a job too. You guys got to go to bed. I know that too. You can't be up all night with craziness. So, but yeah, that's the reason why, folks. It's because of what the two people that I know said to me. First of all. Second of all, it's the cars situation. No, I understand that, Wild Rose. I understand that, but these people they know better. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some things they just should not say. Period. And when you disrespect somebody and you expect them not to have an opinion about it, you're asking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy here is not the kind of guy that keeps his mouth shut. I don't. I will speak on it. If it bothers me that much, I will speak on it. Um, but I won't make waves for them. I won't say who it was. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not that kind of a person. But in the fact of me going to another live stream and just saying hi to people and somebody in there putting me on a timeout, that don't set right with me. You know what I'm saying? That means they're trying to do behind my back stuff or trying to stab me in the back on top of everything else. So, you know, that's pretty much what it comes down to. I had to do this, like I said, because I'm sure people were wondering, wait a minute, why isn't he responding? Why is this thing blank? Why is, he's here, but, nobody's seeing what he's saying. Well, when somebody puts you on a timeout in their live stream, they don't want you saying nothing. Okay. So I don't have to say anything in their live stream. I can say it in my own. And if I really wanted to make problems for those two people, I could do it right here. Okay. But I don't need my blood pressure going through the roof. I don't need another stroke. You understand what I'm saying? I don't need a heart attack, and I don't need another friggin' stent in my arteries either. So that's why I'm not letting it bother me. Yeah. I'm trying to be civil about it, and I'm hoping that they're watching. I'm sure they're in here because there's 17 people in here. Okay. And I'm sure they're watching. They know who they are. I know who they are. Okay. And, you know, that's not cool, man. If that's what you're doing, that's not cool. You need to stop that. So that's pretty much where I'm standing as far as that goes. I'm not saying anybody's name because I don't want to make waves. I don't want to make problems for them. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I don't want people hating me because I say something. So, Yeah, I know, but it's a person that, I just can't say. It's a little more than just what you think. Okay? Hey, how you doing? It's a little more than just that, it's a matter of, like if you're a member of the community, show the same kind of respect that you want to be treated with. That's what I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. And don't make waves for somebody because you don't like what they said to you on a personal message. You know what I'm saying? If you have a problem with that person, you talk with them straight up. You don't go behind their back and trying to deviate things and make problems for them. You know, you want to talk to a man? I'm a man. I'm right here. You could talk to me. You can leave me a message. My email is in my description. You know exactly who I am, and I know exactly who you are. So, you know, all this other stuff is not making anything any better. It's going to make it worse. I'll put on a light out here. What's up, Steve? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I had to do this live just to, be able to speak upon what was going on when I was in another live. That's the only reason why I'm doing this is because, like I said, I was being treated unfairly in another live stream just for saying hi to people. So that's why I had to do this live to let people know that that's what they were doing. Somebody did something to me earlier. There was a couple of people. I hear you. Kicking my butt. What's the matter, Steve? What's going on? Or you could talk to me on Facebook. We have the chat thing there too. You know that. I got an open ear for you, man. You know that. If I can give you some advice, I'll give you that too. That's not a problem. You know what I mean? Um, well, yeah, as long as they don't keep giving me a timeout, I will. Otherwise, I'll have to keep doing mine. And then if they keep playing this over and over and over and over and over again until it gets sickening, then I'm going to sit there and blurt out who they are. You know what I mean? Because at that point, then they're trying to make problems for me. And if they're going to make problems for me, then I'm going to make problems for you. And I'm going to be truthful about it. And I'm going to be able to show the text because I could take pictures of it. Okay? There's no bull about it. I actually have it on my picture file right now. Exactly what was said to me by two people, not one, two. I don't need to talk to my doctor about it. It's got nothing to do, and if this is who I think it is, you should know better than to bring that up in here. If you're going under another profile name, don't do this. And I think I know exactly who that is. Yeah, I just took a screenshot of that too, so. Unfinished. Please leave it alone. I'm not bringing any malice towards you, and I'm not saying anything about anybody, okay? Leave it alone. I'm explaining on my behalf why I felt that I was being put on timeouts in another person's live because they didn't want me to talk, okay? But I can always do the talking in my own live stream. I don't have to do it with somebody else's. Only reason why I was in Travis's live stream was to say hi to people. And that's the kind of crap I got. Okay? Oh, allergies. Oh, okay. I didn't know you had allergies, Steve. Yeah, I hear that. I've never had allergies in my whole life. I almost never even get sick. That's the funny thing. It's like, yeah, but Steve, aren't you just starting to have the trees and everything starting to blossom down there? It's not like it's been going on for a while, right? Thank you, old man in the shop. Appreciate that. Are you taking anything? You taking any allergy medication or anything, Steve, or no? Or are you just fighting through it? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, LP. I'll uh I'll sub. I think I have you sub, but I'll double check just to make sure. LP 94. All right. Yeah. So it's I just wanted to clear everything. That's all there was to it. You know, I just wanted to let whoever that was doing that know that's got to stop now. That's unacceptable. I'm not going to block anybody in here, and I'm not going to stop somebody from talking. But at the same time, don't put yourself in the spot either. You know, to make problems for yourself. My main reason, like I said, it's money. It's always money. It's like I have a house. I mean, it's a small house. I have a newer vehicle, which I'm paying for, and I'm divorced, and I don't have kids or anything. So it's like whatever I have here, is what I have. And sometimes I buy things frivolously because it makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? After dealing with somebody for 9.5 years that spent like $350 for a pair of Uggs, but bought 7 pairs at one sitting, you know, doesn't care where the money comes from, but just likes to spend it. Whereas, you know, I may spend things frivolously, but they're on a lot smaller scale. And like I bought the PS5. Okay, I bought that during Christmas. It's not open. It's still in the box. Okay. Um, the Hot Wheels cars. My whole thing was to actually sell this stuff online, you know, not to keep it, you know. So, that was it. I mean, it's not even the 8250. That's not the problem. I mean, heck, I have more than that sitting around here and change. That's not a problem. But I'm not a wealthy guy either. I mean, wealthy is to the extent is how many guys in Jersey have their own house with a pool, a 28-foot camping trailer, and 5 cars. And his whole house is a man cave. I mean, everything, every room. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I do things as I see fit. I go to work every day like I'm supposed to, but when I come home here, this is my domain. You know what I mean? And I do what makes me happy here. You know, and when I'm working on the cars, like the '57 Chevy, well, sometimes it gets on my nerves because I'm trying my hardest. I've been through this before, where I've worked hours upon hours upon hours working on a car, and ultimately what I'm trying to do doesn't get done, and that just like jacks me up. But now that it's running and it's driving, with the exception of the brakes, and well, no, it's the brakes and the actual gas line. The gas line is still what's giving me the problem because it won't pump the gas in through the from the tank through the line into the pump and up to the carburetor. So it's still doing the running for a couple of minutes and then conking out. All right. We'll see you later, Steve. Take it easy, man. Yeah, we're almost into it for an hour already. I'm thinking what it is probably the diaphragm inside the pump is no good. Yeah, because I'm thinking the pump is actually the original pump. It has that 57 fuel pump look. You know what I mean? And I did try to blow air into the line from where the pump is back to the gas tank. It's clogged. I don't know what it's clogged with. I don't know where it's clogged. You know? But there's nothing leaking out of the gas tank because I've actually poured gas in it and it's still in there. You can sit there and rap on it. You can hear it sloshing around when you shake the car, you know? So it's got to be, it could be it could be the sock. It can't be the sending. It really can't be the sending unit because the sending unit works. When I turn that ignition on, the fuel gauge moves. It doesn't stay still. And it's never the same place. So that's how also I know it's moving, it's working. But what I'm thinking is it's probably a clog in the line just before what is who? Are you asking me that? My favorite car is the 57 Chevy. I love that car, but it's a total pain in my butt to work on. I mean, I brought that thing literally back from the dead. When I had that car, first day, the guy said it didn't run. And it did the next day. All right, Tim, we'll talk to you later, man. Nice to have you here. Um, and then, like I said, the pistons went, they broke and everything else and all that other jazz. And then, guys keep asking me, why do you have like valve release? Because they don't sell flat tops. If they sold a flat top, I would have put 2 flat tops in there, but they don't. So I had to get standard size. Actually, they're still here. I believe I have them right here in the living room, somewhere around here. Where is it? I could have swore I had them in here. Maybe I moved them somewhere. Well, there's a box of 7 pistons with rings on them right now in here in this house. Thank you, appreciate it. But yeah, we're only at the point now where it's, and then of course I had what was it, the studs on the back passenger side. I think the lug nut that I put on when I had that racing wheel on it, I think what it did was it cross-threaded the actual stud itself. So when I took it off, it broke. So I have to get studs for those brake drums because I even want to try and keep the brakes original if I can. I mean, I know what the problem is with that is actually the front hoses because I mean, heck, the car's 65 years old. It's got to be that. There's no there's no brake fluid that's running out from behind the brake drum and all that other stuff from the wheel cylinder. There's nothing leaking down on it. So I'm thinking it's probably one of the hoses because when it went, the pedal went all the way to the floor very easily. Yeah, that's what I got to do. I got to get new brake hoses for the front. And then if it's anything else, it's going to be a line. It's probably going to be one of the lines closest to the back. But you want to know something? I can't use the honing tools that they have. I need the little dingle ball frickin' honing tool. You know what I mean? The one that you put on the drill that you make sure it's going first before you put it in there in the cylinder. But I don't want to hone it too much because, like I said, the pistons that are in there are actually standard size. They're not over, they're not under. They're the right same size as the ones that came out. So, and then, like I said, I actually had to replace two of the intake valves, one on the number two cylinder and one on the number three. Amazingly, I don't know how the exhaust valves didn't get bent, but they didn't, you know. And even if they did, believe it or not, I got a junk drawer in the kitchen. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Here we go, folks. This is how you know I've been inside the actual heads itself and have done work on the valves. And I got to see which one is because there's two of them in here that are bent, and I think it's this one is bent. This is one of the bent ones. This is the intake, and this is the original because it says on the other side GM right there, right above my thumb. So that's the original valve. And then I think it's this one too. Yep, this one says GM as well. Where is it? Let's see if we get a better angle on it. Where is it now? Okay. Right there it says GM. See it? So those are both intake valves. This is one that I have left. This one's the only one that I have left that's straight. Okay? That's just the spare in case I need it. But these are the exhaust valves. And the exhaust valves, not like any of you guys don't know, but the exhaust valves are actually smaller than the intake valves. Y'all should know that. Okay? So that's why I still have three of them. I have three exhaust valves. But they didn't need to be replaced. And every time, the hardest problem I had was getting the tools to work. I bought two cheap Japanese crap ones, and what happened was they actually spread out after I was trying to get the keepers out. Okay, release the top from the valve itself and get the keepers out and all that other jazz. And I couldn't use them again, so I went and got one from an auto parts store, a loaner. But the guy gave it to me, to do it, and I was like, "Thanks, appreciate it." And I know the guy; he's still there, and I brought it back. I says the damn thing snapped. I says they put what the hell I call that? The black sockets, what are the impact sockets? Okay, impact metal. They threaded into aluminum. Really? And the aluminum block is what snapped. You can't do that. You have to, if you're going to make a tool like that, make it with the same material. You don't use aluminum with impact metal. I would want to get one of the old ones, the old style uh, valve release tools. I've seen Buck do it the other day, like he was going like this, like he was stapling a gun. I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? It's that easy? Why in the hell did I have such a hard time? I'm sitting here going through 3 or 4 freaking tools before I can get even 2 out. You know? So, that's what the problem was with that. But, you know, hey, if I ever need exhaust valves for it, I got them. And if I need one intake valve, I got it. So I'm good. That's another guy. He was sitting there telling me to set the firing on 6 on this car. Now, I don't know about y'all, but anytime you're setting the car in a firing position to start up and fire, the bottom gear is supposed to be at 12. The top gear is supposed to be at 6. The distributor is supposed to be set in with the rotor pointing at the number 1 spark plug wire receptacle in the cap. Okay? So, in other words, pretty much what it's supposed to be doing is the rotor is supposed to be pointing at the number 1 spark plug. Okay? Number 6 piston is a corresponding piston with the number 1 piston. If the number 6 piston isn't all the way up, your number 1 isn't. And if it's not, that means you're not on the compression stroke. That means you're on one of the other 3 strokes, but not the compression stroke. Okay? That's why I know now the distributor's set right, the pistons are set right, they're all the way up. I even got to the point where I put a flathead screwdriver in the spark plug hole, made sure it was all the way up because the screwdriver got stuck as I was trying to pull it out. Okay? The harmonic balancer and the dampener are 1 unit. They are not 2. There is no bolt holding this harmonic balancer in place on the crank. Okay? There's no bolt. And the crank. Hey, Randy, what's going on, man? The crank is actually got a tooth on it. Okay? And that's where your timing mark is on the harmonic balancer. So it's like this. No, it's like this. Your harmonic balancer's down here, okay, where your tooth is that goes into the harmonic balancer, and your marker's up here. So it should be near or close to 0 on the time and chain cover timing marks. And that's pretty much where mine is. So that's how I knew everything was, going to run once it was put back together. So, and this time it was done right. Last time, I don't know what the heck it was firing. It was running, but it wasn't running properly. It wouldn't stay running. It could be because of the fuel line. Hey, you know what? The funny thing is, what I learned is I don't even need to look at the firing order in a book or on the intake manifold. You know how you know? Anybody have a guess here? I could tell you how to separate one side from the next. The driver's side is 1357, and the passenger side is 2468. Starting from the front of the engine, not the back. So that's where it comes in. That's how I learned the firing order on a 283 V8. Okay, and now you guys know. Hello, I know what I'm holding here. Do you? But you know that I've worked on the car. That's all I could say. I mean, there's videos to prove it. There's videos of my fat ass sticking out there. I got my whole body covering the engine. I'm not good with a camera. I don't know what to tell you. But ultimately, like, lately what I've been doing is I've been coming back around and showing people exactly what I've been doing because I don't know if you can see it or not. It's not like I have a megaphone on this thing where somebody can say, "Hey, get your ass out of the way. It ain't made out of glass, pal." But yeah, that's exactly why. But at the end, like I said, I want to get this thing. I want to do that one video where you guys see it taking off. That's going to be so awesome. At least for me, it will be. Because not only did I get to do this thing, but I got to do it twice. Not once, but twice. But there's nothing I could have done. I mean, after everything has been said and done with everything I did, even with the car not running properly when it was there last time and the head gasket's still leaking, the 455 olds and train. I need an external transmission coolant line, Wild Rose. That's what I need for that car. That's all that needs. And then the tune up and because what it's doing is it's spraying transmission fluid on the firewall on the driver's side. I mean the passenger side. You understand what I'm saying? Outside the car on the passenger side, there's transmission fluid that's getting sprayed up there. Some of it's landing on the exhaust manifold, and it's causing it to smoke. So that's the only thing the car needs: an external transmission line, coolant line. That's it. And when I got the car, the lady was like, oh, the transmission shot. It's not shot. The people that she left the car with for 3 years didn't touch it. I'm going to tell you how much I know this, okay? They said they put new tires on the car. Well, the sidewalls on all the tires were completely dry rotted. Okay? That's one dead giveaway. Number two dead giveaway is that the thermostat housing still had a part number on it. Guess what it was made out of? Pot metal. And guess when it was made? It was manufactured in 1969. And guess what was wrong with it? It had a hole the size of a pen tip in it. So you're going to tell me they replaced that? No, they didn't. Okay? And they're telling her a transmission was shot. Transmission's not shot. They got so lazy they didn't even replace the transmission coolant return line. Hello? And doesn't it seem a little bit odd to you to have somebody, get money from you and all this time sitting there at a garage where people are supposed to be mechanics and they're taking money from her, but they're not doing anything? That's just wrong, man. You know? And when she had the car here at my house, before I got it, I originally was going to restore it. We were going through paint colors, and I even tried experimental stages. And then her health started going, south. She said something about her having problems with her equilibrium or whatever, and all this other stuff. And the next thing I know, like she sent a vanilla envelope up here with the keys and title in it and said, "Good luck." I'm like, okay, that's odd, you know? So, like I said, the first thing I did was I got a thermostat housing because I knew that's what was wrong with it. And then, like I said, with the tires, I mean, the rims are original. They're original steel rims for an Oldsmobile 90 or 88. Okay, they have the same style as they did back on my other 69 Olds. The metal is already there. Like I've already got it down to the bare metal in the back. So those wheel well pieces that go around it, when I put new metal on this and weld it to it, I might do that with the 18 gauge because the galvanized steel doesn't rust away. Put it up a little bit higher. Maybe I'll do the trunk pan with that too because it's seen better days. But I mean, the car's got 149,000 miles on it. and it needs another steering wheel too. The Oldsmobile steering wheel is literally crumbling apart in my hands as I'm trying to turn the thing. It's still there, but it's like, come on now, And then, like I said, I gotta do the headliner in that car, and then I'll probably wind up ripping the carpeting out because it had leaks in the back window until I sealed it up. And there's been mouse houses in there, with the headliner and all the insulation stuff being torn up and bunched in a ball, and that's got to all be cleaned out. And I got an original radio for the car. It's original AM Oldsmobile radio. They had some cheap cassette player radio in it, but when I tried to take the buttons off, they broke. That's how long it was sitting in there. You know, the shifter that's on the floor, it doesn't have a shifter on the column. That's why it has two bucket seats in the front and doesn't have a bench seat. And the shifter's not on the column; it's on the floor. It's got the whole console going right through the middle. As far as I know, from my knowledge of that car very rarely ever came with bucket seats and a console on the floor. Normally, it came with the bench seat and the shifters on the steering column. I mean, it still has a 455 rocket, but it has a 2 barrel, and I want a 4 barrel. So I want a 4 barrel intake, and I want to take the crossover wide pipe off and put headers on it, or straight pipe straight out the back. Because they don't have emission pumps and all that other stuff on those cars going back then. They didn't have catalytic converters, none of that. But I think it would sound mean, having that. And I'd like to get some slicks for the back of it, like Hoosier slicks or something like that. But I think I'd have to get some air ride shocks or something like that, put them in the back. And somehow I got to get the front lifted up because that engine is so heavy that a quarter of the tire is actually up underneath the wheel well. That's how heavy it is. That was the only downfall with that car, was they never did the proper suspension on that car in the front end. So, that's what makes it look like Grandma Moses' car. All right. Well, anyway, folks, I guess I'll call it quits here. Everybody's starting to leave now. I can see that happening. My numbers are dwindling. So just remember, whoever's doing, the timeout thing, cut it. You don't need to do that. I'm not 3 years old. Okay. And, I have no ill-gotten things towards anybody either. I just want them to know that, and they do know that they were wrong and that they shouldn't do that again. Okay? Don't talk to people like that, because you're not going to want to be talked to like that. Okay? That's it. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hearing me rant and explain my end of things. And I'm not going to stop coming to the lives. I'm just I'm not going to be able to make it down there. I'm not the only one that has not been able to make it down there. I'm sure there's been plenty of people that haven't been able to make it down there. So holding that against me really isn't helping either. But everybody, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for the messages. Thanks for the concerns, because I know there's been some people that have left me some messages, and you know I've responded back to you. And if I haven't, I'll look at my messages again, because they actually show up when somebody's in one of the videos looking at it or something. They put a message in there or something, and I get that little dot or whatever at the bell, and I look at them. Okay, I look at everyone, and I try to answer everyone that I can. All right. All right. So no ill-gotten feelings towards anybody. All right. I'm not here to make problems. I just want to be shown respect that I deserve. That's it. Everybody have a good evening, and we'll see you in another one or in another video. Have a good night. Bye now.